Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour, live on A2DRadio.com. I am Matt Tsutsuti, along with the broken one, Rob Povia.
Oldest ride, longest line. Woo!
And the Darkwing, Brian Daly.
What's going on?
Oh, not much. Today, gentlemen, as always, we are brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy, Dr. Paul Vidal. Listen, man, if you got any physical problems that are bothering you, little aches and pains, a few stingers here and there, maybe you also just need to relax at the end of the day. Specialized Physical Therapy, they're the ones to go to take care of you. You can find them in Burlington, Princeton, and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And you can make an appointment at www.specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Dr. Paul Vidal, he'll take care of you. He's the man. All right. Tonight, gentlemen, we restart our draft series after having to put it on the shelf due to a little thing that happened just a few months ago. I think we might have remembered it was the Stanley Cup Playoffs, possibly. It wasn't that major.
That little thing.
Yeah. But, hey, we got all that taken care of. We got that nasty bit of business out of the way. And now we're right back to it. And it's time for us to draft our team from the 2010s, meaning we go from 2010 up to 2019. We will do 2000 up to 2009 next week. So, unfortunately, for anybody out there hoping that our beloved Captain Keith Primo could be taken in this particular draft, he is not eligible because he retired by the end of 2006. But anyway, with that, how you guys doing tonight?
Good. It's nice and early.
That's right. Special start time here at 6 o'clock. And by the way, folks, got a couple of announcements here. First of all, we got Andy in this very ring who's starting us off on the producer side of things. And his show, In This Very Ring, if you want to get your wrestling fix, they will be going on at this time at 6 o'clock tomorrow night on Friday. So check that out if you want to get all of the updates on what's going on today in pro wrestling. And, of course, tonight there will be a live reaction show, I believe, to the Eagles battling out with the New York Giants on Thursday Night Football. And that should be very exciting, folks. Even if you're not necessarily a football guy, I'm not, but I produced A2D for a little while. I was still completely entertained. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about, but the conversation alone is worth the price of admission. It's unbelievable.
And I gotta say this real quick. I'm stoked. I know they're 1-4-1, but I'm finally home to watch an Eagles game. Let's go. Maybe I can bring them a little bit of luck, get them win number 2 tonight. Let's go, Carson.
Well, I hope you boys enjoy it because this game's been keeping me up at night on the fantasy side of things, man. I'm still in debate on whether I should start Boston Scott tonight. So any fan want to give me fantasy advice, I would really appreciate it because I also got Fulham and Slayton going tonight. I don't like to put all my eggs in one Thursday night basket.
Nah, you definitely not. No. What's up, Don Brinkman? I
hey,
saw you
Don.
too. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, Brinksman.
Brinks is unloading all kinds of questions on us already. Let's
there
go.
He
I
is.
love it. I love it.
Well, he's saying, is Patrick Laine getting traded? No, he's not.
I mean, it's still up in the air. I don't think he does because Stastny's back, and that's his boy. But you never know. It come trade deadline time, depending on where they are and how he's producing. From what I'm understanding, the two sides still aren't seeing eye to eye, so it's a good possibility he gets traded towards the deadline.
Yeah. So, Brinkman also has the comment, didn't the Flyers go to the Cup in 2010? Couldn't have been that bad. That addresses the Twitter question that we will talk about first off before we get into the draft.
Real quick. This is actually kind of major news. So breaking today, the Winter Classic will be postponed as well as the All-Star Game this year for obvious reasons concerning COVID-19 and all that situation. And want to make sure that they get the events in for the fans because that's what it is. They're fan events, and want to make sure they get them in for the fans. If there's going to be no fans, it's kind of no point in doing them. So Winter Classic and All-Star Game both postponed for this season.
All right, then. Well, hey, better safe than sorry. All right, then.
You can't have much of an event without fans. I think that's what it's more about. They're still planning on starting the season January 1. It just won't be with the Winter Classic. And I get it. You know, I thought it would have been a good story even if you had social distance separated fans, but they want to do it and they want to do it right. There's a lot of money involved.
Absolutely.
So you postpone it to 2022 and you still start your season, on the new schedule.
Yep. I want to say what's up to John Coyle.
What's up, John? And real quick, to address what was said earlier with Brink saying that Flyers did go to the Cup in 2010, couldn't have been that bad. That does address the Twitter poll question, and the Twitter question is, was the 2010s a bad time for being a Flyers fan? Agree or disagree? I'll start this one off. And since I missed the early 1990s, and obviously I definitely missed when the Flyers were a brand new team out of expansion, I would have to say agree. Because when you look at what I had seen, Flyers were perennial Cup contenders. And then you get to the 2010s and they are walking mediocrity by every stretch of the imagination. Yes, they got to the Cup in 2010, but we lost. After that, we could never get back. And then we went down that road of we made it, we missed. We made it, we missed. We made it, we missed. We're just getting out of that now. It's for the first time, really, that we went into a playoff run with some expectations. Obviously, from what Brian said before, maybe a little too high expectations, but we had good expectations going into this postseason. Unlike in the past where we would go up against a team that overmatched us, we were like, well, maybe we upset them. Maybe. But that was a long maybe at the end of the day. So I would agree, only because of what I have seen personally as a Flyers fan. Like I said, I wasn't there for the early 90s, so I missed that stretch where they were really bad and they were desperately waiting to get Eric Lindros in that trade. It was just a different era, but for me, I'd have to agree. It was a rough time for a Flyers fan.
It certainly was. I mean, to be somewhat disagreeable, Flyers hadn't been in the playoffs since 2012, so you're talking really one time during the decade that they made the playoffs. 2010 was that 9-10 season, really starting off the decade, and it was a magical run. But it was a team, let's be honest, that shouldn't have been there, or shouldn't at least gone that far. But they had talent, and they rode that magic carpet ride that fell a little bit short. And from there, I think I agree with the poll too. It was certainly a downtime as they move back, and it's evidenced by the young pups that we have now.
Yeah,
I gotta agree as well. I mean, at first I thought maybe I could argue the disagree point, but I don't know if I can. I mean, like Robbie, you just said, and I think this really swayed me towards agree was, you haven't really been in the playoffs since 2012, and they've been in rebuild mode for the last 8 years and haven't really done much. They really started to put it together this year. And in 2010, I think they could have beaten the Chicago Blackhawks had they had better goaltending. But, I mean, when Michael Leighton's your starter, you're pretty handcuffed there. So
it's real easy to have Kane and Taves expose you for being fraudulent goaltender, and that's what happened. We'll talk about those boys later in the all-decade draft, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously, Rob's saying I don't like Scott at all, Poves.
And with guys, I don't have much options. I'm a Miles Sanders owner, so basically, why am I holding Boston Scott? My hope is that it doesn't. The Vegas total doesn't indicate shootout, but I think it could be a sneaky shootout. That's why I'm playing the two receivers. And my hope is that Scott can pick up points in a full point PPR on the passing side of things, which he's shown towards the tail end of last year that he can catch the ball out of the backfield and be a true handcuff for Sanders. The only thing is that when you have the receiver actions, he did that when they had the Greg Ward was your best receiver at the time. Fulham kind of flips the script a little bit.
Yeah. To John's comment, so they're allowing Eagles fans into the stadium. So I'm assuming come hockey season that barring any extreme spikes or anything, yeah, I would absolutely expect to see Flyers fans in the stands. And I won't lie. I'll probably be one of them. I'm going through withdrawal, not being able to go to games right now of any kind. So if I can get there, I'll be there.
We got Greg saying hockey happy hour on during happy hour. Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
What's going on, Greg?
Yeah, baby.
And Frank's saying, hey, yo, sorry to bother you at work. And greetings from South Philadelphia to the poll. It was a roller coaster of emotions, so I agree. Also, go Birds.
Go Birds.
Yeah. I thought about that earlier today, too. It's funny that he brings up that question because, see, we're seeing fans being introduced back into the stadiums, as you'll see tonight, but those are all outdoor scenarios. Unless the World Series has a I don't know. I'm not familiar with Globe. No, they do have a retractable roof, but my assumption is they have it open for that fact. But if they indeed have it closed, or you can do the podding of fans in the stands in an indoor arena, then yeah, I would expect to see fans. But it'll be interesting.
The roof has been open. Okay.
Globe Life is Texas is the new one, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of nice on the inside. It really does look like a greenhouse or whatever the hell they were saying. It looked like on the outside. Like they couldn't have done a worse job designing the outside of that stadium. But the inside looks okay. Now that I'm actually getting a chance to actually see it.
So we've got Eileen saying, I will be back in the stadium to see my Flyers having withdrawal. What's going on, Eileen?
I'm having withdrawal too.
And Steven Reichel saying, good evening, guys, at my son's jiu-jitsu class. Have a good one.
Steve?
Yeah, what's up? And he's saying, have a good one and agree with the poll.
My guy, Steve. You can catch him on the weekly roundup every Saturday afternoon.
And Prism had said earlier, it's fucking 5. What kind of Twilight Zone is this? And and then Andy had responded and said that in a world where the Eagles play on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm not expecting a lot out of this game. I'm expecting hopefully the Eagles to win 24-14. I think they could do it, but it's tough to compete with the Eagles games, man.
Yeah.
It's tough in this city.
All right. So, gentlemen, it is time, and I do believe it is time that we invite Mr. Andy Ritz himself to basically draw which one of us will be picking first in our decade draft. Andy, go right ahead.
All right, so since there's 3 of you, we're going to hit the randomizer 3 times.
All
see
right.
who we've got. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Daly, Matt, and Pove.
All right, right in the middle, like I was last time. All right, then.
Oh, this should work out in Maddie's favor.
All right, peace, Andy. So,
Appreciate you, Andy.
So, with that being said, we now have our order. And, and by the way, Greg's saying, Andy is producing. Good luck, fellas.
Thanks, Greg.
I'm professional as hell, yo. Come on now.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Oh.
And, right, Greg?
Eileen was saying, gotta run. Hope you all have a great night. Good night. Oh, well, night, Eileen.
Thanks,
great
Eileen.
seeing you. All right.
She'll be back.
Yeah.
Oh, she will. She always comes back.
So, with that, Mr. Daly, it is your turn. It is time for you to start the festivities off here. See who we will not have available to me and Rob.
All right. So, is there like any rules here so I can take anybody from as long as they're playing between the years of?
Yeah.
All right.
As long as they were an active player during 2010 through 2019, you can take them.
Okay. So, with the first overall pick.
Anthony's saying Daly will pick Bobby Orr.
Not a bad option. He was a hell of a player. I think with the first overall pick, I'm going to take... I'm going to take Patrick Kane. I'm going to take Patrick Kane with the first overall pick.
I like it, and I could totally disagree there with Brinkman, because if you look back to the decade, Patrick Kane had 880 points to Sidney Crosby's 866.
He's got more cups than him too.
Does he?
Got 3.
No.
Got,
They have they have the same. They both have 3.
In the span of 2010 to 2019, Kane has 3. Crosby's got 2.
All right. Well, yeah. If you narrow it down to you're right.
Come on, Matty. Between 2010 and 2019, let's go.
Well, I thought you were trying to include all of them, and if you did, then they both are tied because of the 2009 Cup. But anyway, all right, moving on.
Nah, bro.
Not even.
Not even.
Okay, so my pick now. I mean, I talk a lot of shit on the guy, but I'd be stupid not to take him, and I am taking Sidney Crosby here. Why the fuck wouldn't I at the end of the day?
Yes! I was hoping Crosby didn't fall for me.
Because then you would have to.
Well, I mean, Robbie, you're going back-to-back, brother, so...
Right, and it works out because if I had gotten the first pick, this is who I would have gone. I would have gone even against the grain and been in the wrong, but this is the guy I wanted at number 3. But I don't want to step on Matty's toes in terms of why he selected Crosby.
Well, I mean, simply put, production-wise, obviously, we pointed that out with that. But at the end of the day, Crosby's the kind of guy who elevates the game and elevates the play of the players around him. And so he's a perfect guy to build around a team, especially in the decade where he was very, very strong. Was he always the top scorer in the league? Not always. But was he absolutely the major player? Absolutely he was. And so at the end of the day, you got to take him.
I mean, he was always doing something, whether it be setting somebody up, scoring a goal. He was always a major factor in the power play. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Robbie, you're up, buddy.
Right on. Well, there's only one selection that makes any hell of sense right now, and I got to go with the guy that is on the hunt for the goal scoring record from Mr. Gretzky, and that's the great 8, Alex Ovechkin.
All right. I mean, that one, yeah. I mean, I kind of figured this was going to be the top 3, just in what particular order.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, you look at the decade for Mr. Ovechkin, 487 goals, which is the most in that period of time. He falls in total points, because he's a sniper. He's not going to get as many assists. Just to give you an example, only 371 to Crosby's 536 and Patrick Kane's 537. And trails Crosby by 8 points in the decade. Just shows how much of a prolific goal scorer he has. He outpaces those two gentlemen by 157 and 144 respectively. Wow, quick math. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Seriously, where's my calculator?
Right. But a big reason, and I told you this, boys, in our text thread last night, that I went, just to pile on, I mean, I don't think I'm going any other direction, but within the decade, Alex Ovechkin had 76 game-winning goals. And just to put that in perspective, that was 16 more than my next pick at number 4 overall, which is Steven Stamkos, who had 60 during the decade.
Yeah, I was thinking of Stammer.
I'm loading up that top line with the goal scores if I'm looking at this as a draft, but I mean certainly could embody an all-decade team.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Was Steven Stamkos was the last guy to score 60 goals in a season? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that is correct.
He was.
Prolific goal scoring.
Yeah, back in.
It's a shame he can't stay. Yeah. It's a shame he can't stay healthy, though. I mean, if he stays healthy, we're looking at a whole different kind of player.
Sure. Now, this is a guy that I did pick later on in the draft when we did our first draft in terms of projecting for the next 10 years, because, having Stamkos as a third-line center is always good for that early production. But he moves up when you reflect back into what he does, as you mentioned, 60-goal scorer.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Matty, you're up.
All right, so for me, with my next pick, I am going to take a left winger. I'm going to take Jamie Benn.
That's an interesting pick.
I think he would actually work pretty well with Crosby.
Yeah, he's the type of player he'll use his physicality to his advantage and be the type of guy he'll sit in front of the net and pick up any kind of rebound. We know he's got a fairly nasty slap shot, and we know he can set up. He's not a selfish type of player. So, yeah, I mean, a little high for Jamie Benn in my opinion, but it's not a bad pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And to confirm, Anthony, yes, Anthony, it is 2010 through 2019 that we are picking this particular draft week.
And leave it to Maddie to go with the first wild card bitches pick of the draft. Love it. Wild card bitches.
Okay, so I'm up. I'm going to take a page out of my book from the last draft. I got to go with the 6th overall pick. I'm going to go Nathan McKinnon.
Okay.
Nate McKinnon. Interesting. How many years did he play in the decade?
I think he got drafted in 2015, 2016.
Yeah. So I like it. You know what I mean? And he certainly qualifies for that tail end of the decade. Sure.
Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to take the first defenseman off the board here. And for me, this might be a little high for this guy, but I might have to take Shea Weber.
Shea Weber, okay.
Shea Weber. He's like another guy who has had some injury issues in the last couple of years, but from his time in Montreal to his time in Nashville, dude's been nasty. He was always a physical shutdown type of defenseman and always had that rocket shot, able to produce some kind of a rebound or something on the power play. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Shea Weber. Shea Weber, take the first defenseman.
All right, then. And I'm going to go crazy, and I'm going to take the first goalie. And I am going to take the king, Henrik Lundqvist.
King Henrik, none better, in that decade and prior to it. Certainly, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
My defense fails, I have Ken Henrik.
Yeah. That's not as bold as you probably would think, Maddie, because there was a long stretch of time where he was absolutely, hands down, top 5 goaltender in the league. Especially
Absolutely.
through that 2010 to 2016, 2017 stretch before he really started to slow down.
Yeah, and I will say, look throughout the entire past decade, he has to be the best goalie of that past generation. He has to be. You can't put Brodeur in there because Brodeur would be the 90s. So you take him out of the equation, it has to be Lundqvist.
Oh, yeah. Robbie?
Right on. I'm just actually looking at my second pick because I know what my first pick's going to be. And that's a guy that I could throw on that top line with Ovechkin and Stamkos to be setting him up. And maybe it's a little bit of a homer pick. It's my place to be a homer on this show. I'm going to go with Claude Giroux, throw on that line or even move him down the center of the second line. But either way, he was second in the decade in assists. So a good setup man nonetheless, and he had his fair share of game winners as well. We'll go into a former Flyer that probably did this more as an LA King that surprised me that was in the top 5 of the decade for game-winning goals. Just a little tease for you folks.
So, wait, did I guess him when we were texting each other last night?
You did.
Okay, all right, cool. So, all right, I know where you're going with that. So real quick, before we go into the next round here, Matt, have you got any comments?
Yeah, I've got a few. So John Coyle was saying that was a great pick from you, Bri, on the Shea Weber, because he was the best D-man of the decade.
Yeah,
Anthony said the Flyers tried to trade for him 4 times. And
then they tried to sign him to an offer sheet, too, when he was a restricted free agent, but I believe it was Nashville that
they matched it.
on,
Yeah. That was right after the cup run too. We were looking like we were trying to shore up our defense. We would have if we had gotten Shea, but we signed him to like a 14-year deal offer sheet. It's kind of a blessing in disguise it didn't happen, because that would be an anchor around our neck to this very day. It would be, because it was a lot of money that we signed him for.
Yeah, it was like 12 years, $125 million or something along those lines. It would have wound
Yeah.
up being like a $10.5 million cap hit.
Yeah, that was bad. All that money we threw at Shea, we threw at Brizgalov. That really didn't pay off at all. But anyway. Okay, so whose turn is it? Is it mine?
Nope, it's Rob's turn. We're
Rob's?
starting
Okay, Robbie.
round 4.
All right.
Alrighty, back to me. Okay, so and I get another wraparound, which is excellent. So I could go for both areas that I'm looking for. Well, I'm gonna get my top line D guy right now. Let me just get back to him real quick, and that's the big man.
Don't you dare!
Chara.
Oh, good. You didn't take my guy.
Good. I'm glad because I like my guy better. You're talking about in the decade, he had a plus 224, which trailblazed all other defenders. The next closest, Ryan McDonough, with a 187. Just you talk about a shutdown number one defenseman. Chara's got to be on your all-decade team.
Oh, absolutely, and he's not the same type of player he was now. Obviously, he's like 41 years old, but he still plays at a fairly high level. Still plays a very physical game. Still get in your face. You know, I'm going to clear you out of the crease here and out of the slot. So he still got that edge.
And also, he captained the Bruins to the 2011 Stanley Cup. So there you go. More proof to the leadership quality that he brings to the team. And by the way, John Coyle also said, plus we were giving up 4 first-round picks, I believe, and I think that was in the Shea Weber.
That
offer
absolutely
sheet.
was.
Yeah.
That was the compensation if we were to have got him to that offer sheet.
Well, that was Paul Holmgren at his finest back then. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, like, I love Shea, and he's gonna, to me, in my mind, he's a borderline Hall of Famer right now. I wouldn't have been okay with giving up 4 first-round picks. I don't care who the player was. That's mortgaging your future.
Think about what players we got with those 4-round picks. We wouldn't have a Sanheim. We wouldn't have had a Hag, a Moran. We wouldn't have had a lot of players. A Konechny. We wouldn't have had any of them if we had to give that, if we had that whole deal go through. But all right. So my turn, and with my wraparound. Yeah, my bad. Damn, Serpentine got me again.
Wait,
all right, go ahead.
Second. Robbie, that was your second.
No, I went Char.
Yeah, you went Drew and Char.
No, I did Stamp. Did I?
Yeah, you did pick Giroux.
Yep.
Oh, my pardons. Okay.
All good, brother. All good.
Okay. Sorry, man. You want to build that all-star team. I don't blame you. Sometimes you got to make a few moves here and there. Trade me trade a couple picks.
Trade a couple picks. I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Oh, my mistake.
No worries.
I will say this real quick, though, in regard to Maddie's pick with Henrik Lundqvist. He led the decade with 18,368 saves, which is well by far in first place over the second place, who had 17,457. Is
that a good thing, though?
I know it's a tough thing because you go, at least in this the stat finder that I have here, you go to hit like more accurately would obviously be save percentage when we're talking that, and you're talking about a 918 save percentage, which is still remarkable. It's equal to the second place guy. So yeah, that actually answered a question for me. Cool. I'm glad I brought that up.
Oh, right.
Nice. Cool.
All right, so with my next pick in the draft, I will take my first second-line center, and that will be from the Boston Bruins, Patrice Bergeron.
Bergie. To me, the best two-way center in the league. I mean, I know Couturier won the Selke, but to me, there's nobody better than Bergeron. He's probably one of my favorite players in the league outside of Anaheim.
Yeah, especially when you're talking the last decade. Yep.
Yeah, and I may hate the Boston Bruins, but just because I hate a player, that usually means that they're damn good at their job, and Patrice Bergeron is damn good at his job.
No, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna take the first guy who's like more towards like the back end.
Okay.
And I'm surprised he wasn't been taken already. The problem is, I don't know which one I want to take. So I think I'm gonna go this way. I think I'm gonna go with Vancouver Canucks center Henrik Sedin.
Okay. Well, now you do realize you have to pick his brother now. Yeah.
No, I'm going defense again, and I'm going to go with the reigning Conn Smythe winner, Victor Hedman.
Now I just want to pick Daniel just to separate them because I'm an evil bastard like that.
They've only been separated one time in their career, in their entire playing career, and that was the All-Star game. It's the only time they ever played against each other.
That's a fun fact. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
All right.
And they retired together, too, which is actually...
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, but
Yeah.
being twins and all. But I think Henrik was always the one who had the more higher scoring upside. Daniel was always really strong with a puck, too, but Henrik sat atop, I believe, in 2010 with 100 points, 107 points or something along those lines in 2010. But, you know, I've always thought Henrik was the better one of the two.
Oh, yeah, in terms of goal scoring, for sure. I mean, you talk about Daniel, more of a playmaker, assist guy, setting up or whatnot. But, no, he's, how, like one twin comes like 7 minutes earlier? Well, it was Henrik. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's funny, too, about these two guys is they sit there and say, when you play together long enough, you know where each other's going to be. Like Getzlaff and Perry and Giroux and who the hell was his line mate? Him and Gagne. These two absolutely knew. It's like they say twins have like that telepathy where they can like feel each other, and it was crazy how those two worked together and played together. Like it was ridiculous. It was really an honor and a privilege to get to watch those two play. It really was.
Well said.
All right, Maddie, you're up.
I am, aren't I? Let me think here. I'm going through a debate in my head of whether I should go defense or stay with some forwards. But you know what? I'm thinking I should probably get some defense here. I'm going to go Duncan Keith.
You got to how many Norris trophies did he win during the decade? That alone makes that a good pick. Oh,
absolutely. And the leadership ability that he had during those 3 Stanley Cup runs was second to none.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's still playing. I mean, we don't know how much longer he'll be playing, but we can definitely say without him, who knows how good that defense would have been. That defense may not have been as good as it was without Duncan Keith's leadership.
Nah, I can wholeheartedly agree to that. But I believe he's younger than me, so he's still got some time. He might just need a change of scenery, and he's got to stay healthy. That's his biggest thing right now.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, you got the back. Yeah. All right, Rob, you got the back-to-back here, brother.
Yeah. I'm going to go for a goaltender here. And this is what I discovered during that previous discussion, albeit lower in saves, equal in save percentage to King Henrique. I'm going to go Carey Price for my goaltender.
Okay.
It's a great choice there. Especially early on in his career.
Yeah. And those are the two best I think you can immediately think of in this past decade.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. Just getting back to his stats here real quick. Talking about 581 game starts for 801 wins. Save percentage, as I said before, of .918, equivalent to King Henrique. Yet his goals against average was .300 slower at 2.46 during the decade, with 44 shutouts, also equal to Henrik Lundqvist. So, you certainly 1-2 right there. I for a minute, I was thinking I could wait on goaltenders, because after those two, there's a quality crop of guys that are, pretty equivalent. So drafting strategy would say go for another forward, but I got to lock up Carey Price there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But getting back to the forwards, because, that's where the money's made with the wraparound pick. Let me see here. What do I want to focus on in this scenario? I want to go for my power play guy. A guy. I mean, not to say that Ovechkin isn't that guy, but I want another guy, and a guy that had 23 goals on the power play in the decade, which is 2 more than Alex Ovechkin. I'm gonna go with Frank Vespi's favorite player, and that's Joe Pavelski.
Oh,
Joe Pavelski. Okay, it's a good one.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean, you're talking about he's a solid player. Certainly. Yep. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I thought his favorite player was Joe Thornton.
That's right. I realized after I said it.
It's all good. It's all good. No, Pavelski's a great pick.
Yeah, I mean, he had more power play goals than Evgeny Malkin. He actually trailed. Pardon me, I got that wrong. He trails Alex Ovechkin and Steven Stamkos for third most in the decade on the power play. So now I have the top 3. Yay!
I was gonna say now you got one of the best power plays already. Top 3 guys in the decade. Well
Tommy
done,
Likey. Tommy Likey. Tom, you want wingy.
Was that that was both yours, Matty? You're up, brother.
All right, then. So before I do, just to help out with Priz, because I know Priz was asking for us to say who's been drafted so far. So let me give a quick summarization of who I've got. For me, I have Jamie Benn, Sidney Crosby, Patrice Bergeron, Duncan Keith, and Henrik Lundqvist on my team. Bri, who do you have?
So far, I've got Nathan McKinnon, Henrik Sedin, Patrick Kane, Shea Weber, Victor Hedman.
And I have Alex Ovechkin, Steven Stamkos, Claude Giroux, Joe Pavelski, one defenseman so far, and Zdeno Chara, but he's like equivalent to 2, just because he's so damn big. And my goaltender is your fave, Carey Price.
All right, so before I take my pick, Maddie, you want to go over any more comments we got?
Not just yet. Well, I have to do my pick, and then after that, we'll dive into those comments there real quick.
He's trying to overload you, man. He's trying to get you off your draft strategy. I know what B. Dales is up to. You sneaky mofo.
Yo, don't throw me under the bus, dude. Come on now.
That's what I do, apparently. That's the word on the street.
I love it.
I'm gonna have tire track marks going down my back.
All right. So that's actually a really good comment right there. But before I get into those comments there, my next one is going to be for left wing. It'll be on my second line, Max Pacioretty.
That's actually a fairly good pick. Hasn't been the same type of player since living in Montreal, but still been a solid player. Key in the success of the Vegas Golden Knights, whose new jersey release is really quite putrid if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Love the pick. I loved him in Montreal. Like I said, he hasn't quite been up to that level, but still a solid player, still a solid pick.
Yeah, because I'm getting him through his prime years, because 2010 he had an okay season with Montreal, but then the following season he had 33 goals, 32 assists, and it only got better from there. So his highest was, I think, at 35 goals at one point. So he'll be working with Bergeron, so that'll definitely help elevate his play on the second line.
Yep, absolutely.
So there we go. So let me take a look at some of these comments here before we roll on over to Bri here for his next pick. Let's see. Anthony said earlier, he said, lol, the Sedin sisters. And then, and then he goes on to say lots of good players out there. Obviously not the Sedin ones. And then Prism was saying, great pick. Not sure which one he was speaking on there. Then we have Don saying, fellas, I would love to stay, but got to help my mom putting her TV together. Well, good luck with that, Don. Hopefully it goes by quick for you, and you guys will have that. Yeah.
You know what's up, Don. You can always go back on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, everywhere we're located to rewatch the show. You can download us too from everywhere you get your podcast. Listen at your time.
Absolutely, Don knows.
Yes, sir. But in case some of the other fans just joining us didn't know,
good.
I wanted to spell it out.
No, absolutely. Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever. Don, you have a good rest of your night, brother.
And he also said cheers to Prism. Prism said cheers to Don. And Joseph Horakowski, what's up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
Saying, all right, what are we doing? What is this? Fantasy draft of the top players from 2010, 2019? That is exactly what it is, my man.
Spot on, brother.
And Anthony also said, I am surprised nobody picked Crawford or Miller from the Ducks.
Well, I already responded to him. I loathe Corey Crawford. I would never pick him.
Miller from the Ducks. Which Miller is he talking about?
Ryan Miller.
Oh, yeah, Ryan Miller.
He wasn't bad in the decade. He was just on Buffalo, and there's really not much you could say except it's the team, not him.
No, he's currently. I think they said he's got the most wins of a U.S. born goaltender.
Correct.
Right,
Which is tough to do on Buffalo.
Yeah. But you also got to think, he's had some bad times in Buffalo, but he's had a lot of good times in Buffalo as well. He came in early enough.
That was a good one, Prism. Good one. We know Pronger played this decade. He didn't play very long in this decade, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. We believe me, the thought process hasn't escaped me. But for my next pick,
I think Dixon's calling you chicken because you haven't picked anybody from the Ducks yet.
Give it time. It's still early on. I'm actually going to take Ryan Miller with this pick. Now that I actually just pretty much sold myself on him, so I'm going to take Ryan Miller with the pick here, and my next pick after that, since we're going to do the roundabout, I'm going to go with Tyler Sagan of the Dallas Stars. I believe he was drafted in 2013, so he's fairly early in the decade, and I think his resume just speaks for itself. He's a stud.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shock that Boston let him go when they did. But let's see here. So that would fall to me. Okay. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I forgot. Didn't so much forget, but his early years in Boston, he played the whole decade.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's surprising to me. He's younger than that.
Oh, so I thought so too. So he played in 2010.
2010, 2011. Yeah, it was his first season in the NHL.
Oh wow! I knew he was a part of. I knew he was a part of the Cup. Oh, that totally. Don't mind me.
Okay, so next.
Completely just contradicted myself, but that's fine.
All right, so next up, I'll have my top line right winger now, and I am going with from the Tampa Bay Lightning, Nikita Kucherov.
Solid pick. He's the top goal scorer currently.
Hell yeah, and he was back in the decade too. So absolutely worth putting him on the line with Jamie Benn and Sidney Crosby. So you got the muscle in Benn, you've got the disher in Crosby, and you got the goal scorer in Kucherov. We've got everything on that top line.
And Kuch can dish it too.
He can.
Has just as many assists as he does goals.
He does. He's a great player, which is why Tampa is so dangerous because of his contributions. But
yep.
All right.
I'm in between here, man. You know what? Since I'm in between, I'm just going to draft both of them. What the fuck? Why not?
You got the circle back.
I could go 2D, man. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 2D men right now. And again, under the context of focusing on the power play, I want a guy that can quarterback that power play. And he stood out in a lot of other defensive stats within the decade. I don't like the overall plus minus of minus 45, but that's because he played on some really rough Ottawa Senators teams. And I'm going to go Erik Karlsson here.
Oh, that's a great pick.
All right then.
Yeah, I think so. I think that. And the other guy I was in between with, right? It's the bearded one, Mr. Brent Burns.
I had a feeling that's where you were going to go with that, but I wasn't 100% on it. I mean, I love the pick. Especially early Brent Burns. Minnesota Wild Brent Burns was just unreal. He was just unreal. I mean, especially considering he was a forward when he came to the league and he got transferred over to the defensive side. And he's been a monster back there ever since, even in San Jose for the first couple of years. So he's had a couple off years, but still a guy I don't want to try and skate through.
Certainly, man. Or a tough guy to get the puck through. You talk about, blocked shots. He's number 2 in the decade, along with being number 2 in power play goals behind the aforementioned Shea Weber with 58 during the decade. Shea had 79, which just goes to show the dominant pick that Shea Weber was.
Yep. Absolutely, Maddie.
All right, let me see here. Let me see, because I know he's still available, but I gotta see how long I would have him for.
Go with your gut, Maddie. Go with your gut.
No, because my gut told me to pick him, and I just realized that would be a stupid idea. Let me see here. Hold on. I'll get him. Hold on. Well, since I'm at my third line by this point, center-wise.
Hold on. Hold on.
What
if the Hurricane's name is Dicka?
Oh, the Hurricane every time.
Let me see here. I'll probably take him because he'll be on the third line, and he was still pretty darn productive during the decade. Centerman from the San Jose Sharks, Patrick Marleau.
Marleau, nice pick. I like that pick.
Still playing. Signed a contract with the San Jose Sharks.
Stunningly.
Speaking of Joe Thornton signing with the Toronto Maple Leafs on a 1-year deal over the last week since we've been off the air.
Yes, he was quoted as say, "Oh, go ahead."
No, I was just going to say it's an interesting move on his part. Cup hunting.
Yeah.
And that's what he came out and said, that he wanted to go to a place where he's very likely to win a cup. And what was the last time Maple Leafs won a cup? 47, was it?
It's like 47, 46, something like that.
No, it was 67.
Oh, 67, pardon me.
Yeah.
The year of expansion, pardon me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dyslexia kicking in, sort of.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was 20 years back, and I'm really stuck in the year 2000, that is for sure.
All right, so with my next pick, I'm really surprised. I know he's more on the second half of the decade here. Really surprised nobody took Conor McDavid yet. So I'm going to take him here.
Good for the future, obviously, for past the decade. And then moving forward, obviously Conor McDavid would be the future carrier of your team.
And with my next pick, do I want to go defenseman? Or do I want to go... No, I'm going to go with right winger Corey Perry.
There you go.
There's the duck. There it is.
And the thing about Perry is former 40-goal scorer, former 50-goal scorer, former league MVP, former Hart Memorial No, the Hart is the MVP. Rocket Richard winner for most points or goals in the season. So enough said there about Corey Perry. He'll be my second line winger. Second to Patrick Kane.
One thing I could say about Conor McDavid taking a half step back is, playing half the decade, some of his counting stats are lower, but points per game, 1.34 leads all skaters in the decade, per game played, obviously, which is actually 900ths of a point higher than Sidney Crosby. So, yeah, I think we did sleep on Conor McDavid a little bit. You know what I mean? You just thought of, again, that he played at the tail end of the decade, but no, half the decade. So
I saw John Coyle's last comment, and he's trying to give away my drafting ideas here.
Why no love from one of the most underrated NHL Hall of Fame guys, Jerome McGinley. Guy was great. I was thinking about it, but then I thought he was good in the 2010s, but I thought he was even better before in the 2000s. So that's why I was holding off on that.
And we're going to go back. We're going to, the next draft series we do will be 2000 to 2009, 90 to 99, and we'll keep on going, baby, till January 1st. Yeah, let's go.
All right, so I will make my next pick, but before I do, let me see what other comments we had rolling through there. Anthony was saying goalie, and then Joe was saying Jean-Sebastian Jager. Not too far removed from when he won a cup in the decade, so he had a pretty strong finishing off of his career there.
He did. His start wasn't all that great, but it is what it is. But he finished strong. He got a Stanley Cup to Anaheim. He got nothing to complain about from JS. So.
And Anthony saying Tyler was drafted by the Bruins. Yes, he was. And Greg was saying, you're right, I need one. I'm dragging today. I don't know what he means by that. What do you need, Greg? Actually, you know what? Don't answer.
Yeah,
don't,
I was going to say,
don't answer that. No. The Ritz say stuff it and go drink a Mellow Yellow.
He's got that thing hooked up to an IV going through his veins.
Yeah, he does.
Anthony was saying Carlson loves Ottawa so much because he would have went anywhere. And let's see here.
Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately, Mike Hoffman was a part of the reason why, Carlson fell out of love with the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah. And next, Eric Lindros will come back. No, not yet. And let's see. Cody Canterbury saying, what's up, guys? What's up, Cody?
What's up, Cody? What's going on, brother?
All right, so now on to my next pick, and I will go with the man who will be paired with Duncan Keith, and that is Ryan McDonough.
Oh, that's a good pick.
If I screw up the rest of the defensive pairs, I at least know I got the first one right.
Never spell his name right.
He's definitely top 5 in those counting stats that we were reviewing previously on defensemen, so can't argue with that.
Nope. No, absolutely. Great pick.
All right, then. So that is my first defensive pair. Robbie, what you got?
Welcome to the defensive party, Richter. I'm going to see, this is the guy. This was the duck that I thought Brian was going to go with. And I was going to take him before him to try to piss him off. But then I realized, how could you go any other possible direction than Corey Perry? It just wasn't possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I get that.
I mean, there's a couple good guys you could have chosen from that little stretch in the decade.
Yes, sir. But I'm going to get a guy that has a little maneuverability, easy for me to say, that could play either third line center, or I can even bump him up to a second line right winger, and that's Ryan Getzlaff.
Oh,
Ryan Getzlaff. Okay.
Yeah, he's 6 in the decade in assists with 509. Definitely a guy that sets up others. Power play goals, 47, still, top 20 in the league. Power play points, 198. That's, let's see exactly what that is. You're talking, again, top 20 as well. And he's just a guy that you want the puck on his stick when the game matters the most. I'm identifying guys that, with game-winning goal potentiality as well. So, Corey Perry also, he's one up on him with 47. So since you went Corey Perry, I'll go with Mr. Ryan Getzlaff there.
It's a great pick. Great reasons why he was the captain for a long time. Still is the captain of that team, and he hasn't gone anywhere yet. So I could see him getting traded at the deadline this year, though. He's got 1 year left.
At this point. Yeah, for
got
sure.
1 year left. You're middle of the rebuild. You could definitely move him and get something for him. But like you said, great setup guy, great guy. You want the puck on the stick. Come clutch time, and you need that big time goal, overtime goal, whatever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad you were talking about him and filibustering there a little bit because I had to take a look at something real quick. And yeah, this is a guy talking about game-winning goals. He was third on the list in the decade behind Ovechkin and Stamkos. So again, a little trend here going on my team. And that's I'm gonna go with Phil Kessel. To man, I'm gonna put him on the top wing on the right to go with Ovechkin and Stamkos. So any one of those motherfuckers is going to end the game on you bitches.
Both Keelan, Cole, Gallup, or Cooks.
Right now, I would go Keelan Cole there, Brink, because he's been getting a lot of targets and he's pulling the ball down. He's been getting more attention than DJ Chark has been.
He's definitely a good. I'm trying to think. The Jags are actually. Let me see here. I have it written down. Jaguars, where are you? Yeah, the Chargers. I don't like it. I'm going to advocate for Cooks. I like that matchup. I think Green Bay Texans has a shootout capability. Cooks came back from the dead of recent, so I'm going to go Brandon Cooks there.
Yeah, I mean, I think either guy you can't really go wrong with.
Right.
I mean,
Packers have a strong secondary, but you got to figure that they're going to put Jair Alexander on Will Fuller. You know what I mean? So I think Cooks eats.
Yeah, and then on top of it, you got the new offense now, new head coach. Cooks has gone off the last couple weeks. I have him in one of my leagues, and he's really, really paid off the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, I mean, I'm for either Cooks or Cole.
Yeah, it's not a bad play either. Yeah, good problem to have.
No, absolutely, it's a great problem to have. Those two. Well, I mean, right now Gallup, I'm not touching. I actually just traded for him, and he kind of shit the bed for me. So, right now I'd steer clear from Gallup. I would either go Keelan Cole or Brandon Cooks for sure.
Yeah, you're right, Anthony. Phil Kessel doesn't get enough credit for what he's done in the decade and what in his career. Top 10 in points, exactly at number 10. 305 goals in the decade. Certainly a forward's forward, not a defensive forward.
Oh, absolutely.
But 0.87 points per game, still pretty good in the league overall. So, yeah.
No, I mean,
I second that.
Absolutely agree because you know what? He didn't get enough love in Boston. He was just underappreciated in Toronto. And the only reason why Pittsburgh got rid of him is to start clearing some cap space because they know that they have a little bit of a situation on their hands now. It's the same reason why they traded Patrick Hornquist.
Okay, so whose turn is it? Is it
yours,
mine?
Matty?
Mine? Okay, good. Thank you guys for stalling because I was absolutely needing to find my next pick. My next pick here, I'm going to go with right winger Blake Wheeler.
All right. I like that one.
Solid.
And he'll be in line too with Pacioretty and Bergeron.
I'm actually really surprised this one guy is still on the board. I figured he would have been gone by now. We're in I believe round 10.
Somewhere around there.
I believe we're in round 10. I'm taking Evgeny Malkin.
Yeah, 10.
I'm surprised that hasn't been taken yet. Multiple 40 goals. I think he's had a couple of 50-goal seasons. 100 points a couple of seasons in a row. Been a dominant force on the offensive side of the puck pretty much since he's come in. Yeah, so I'm going to go Malkin, and I'm going to plug him in on the left wing.
Yeah, man, that's a total oversight. I actually thought he was taken. I probably would have grabbed him ahead of Ryan Getzlaff for like that center wing capability.
Yeah, I'm all
man.
set up here. I got
That's
my
good point.
picks, and I'm kind of writing down what you guys pick as well, so I don't get lost in the shuffle.
Nice.
Yeah, gotta have some kind of organization.
I'm taking my chances. If I pick one of your picks, I got to go do a shot over there because it is happy hour after all. So
I love it.
I too like to live dangerously.
All right, so I'm gonna go defenseman with my next pick. But I'm trying to think off the top of my head who's been really dominant in the last 10 years that hasn't already been taken. I mean, Char's clearly off the board. Duncan Keith is off the board. Carlson, Burns, two big ones. McDonough's another big one off the board. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb because he was very good in Montreal. He's solid in Nashville. And unfortunately, he's in New Jersey now. I'm going to go PK Subban. I know he's got that reputation of being a cancer in the locker room, but he's got a lot of offensive upside, plays a physical defensive side. He's put up points on the power play. So, yeah, I'm going to go with PK. Stands up for his teammates. Can't go wrong with PK.
All right, then. And are you was that your wraparound pick, or was that the first
that was my wraparound. I went Malkin in 10, and in round 11, I went PK Subban.
All right, then. So now it's my turn. And for me, I'm going to go defenseman myself, and I'm going to start on my second defensive pair, Justin Falk.
It's an interesting pick.
Fuck you.
Apparently Robbie's pick.
No. I just, the name.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I mean, look, in the decade, he was a really darn good defenseman. I mean, obviously, he's a little bit older now, but still, back in the decade, he was a really solid D-man. I always wanted the Flyers to grab him. They never did, and it was really annoying that they never did. I always thought he would be really good for Philadelphia.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad move at all. All right. I don't want playoff stats. There we go. That's what I want. That's what I want. All right, Rob. You're up, brother.
All right. I'll get to you, boys. Just to actually, we're doing a show. Right. Okay. I was actually commenting back on a commenter, but yeah, I got to go with them here. Jonathan Toews, third line center.
Yeah, I'm surprised he swooped down that low.
Yeah, when you went Balkan, that kind of forced my hand there with Toews. So figured I'd go there. And then I think I'm going to wrap up my my second line, or my second D pairing, I should say. And I want to go for a guy that's time on ice per game. Yeah, that's who I want to focus on during this decade. And yeah, I mean, I got one guy there that's in the top 5 with Erik Karlsson. So I'm going to go with another guy that hasn't been picked. Oh, this is tight. Do I piss off Brian or do I not piss off Brian? This is the question. You know what? My tiebreaker has always been going game-winning goals, and this defenseman actually has 14 in the decade. We're going to go with Ryan Suter.
Okay, that's not who I'm eyeing up right now. So
no, I know you're eyeing up. That's why that pick would have pissed you off. Maybe.
You sure? Are you sure you know who I'm going after right now?
Are you talking defenseman?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. So my next pick here. Rob, that was your wraparound, right?
Correct, sir.
All right, then. So my next pick, defense, Tampa Bay Lightning, Victor Hedman.
Wrong. He's on my team. Pick again.
Oh, that's right. You did pick him, didn't you?
I did.
I forgot all about that. All right, then. Aaron Ekblad.
Oh, okay. That was who's going to be my next pick, but I guess not.
That's great. I love it.
Got him.
It's all right. I'll just go with the next best, and I'm going to go with Oliver Ekman-Larsson at defense here. Multiple 20-goal seasons for Ekman-Larsson. One of the best offensive defensemen in the league. Can move the puck. 125 goals in his career. Came into the league in 2010. He's got a minus 92, but that's also not entirely his fault. He's on a shitty organization. 364 points for a defenseman in a 10-year span, I think is pretty damn good. So I'm going to go OEL there, and hopefully he gets out of Arizona soon and have actually a decent career. Just imagine what he would do if he was actually on a decent team.
Yeah. He probably would have won a cup.
He's got how many power play points? 147 power play points in his career. So use him on the power play as well. And all right. I guess I should really try and consider starting to put some third line players in. All right, so let's see here. Let's go with. I already got Tyler Sagan. Let's go with. Let's go with Nicholas Backstrom, and I'll plug him in. I'll plug him in at left wing here.
That is a good pick.
Ovi's right-hand man, multiple 50 assist years. Not quite the prolific goal scorer that Ovechkin is, but has had a lot of success playing on the same line with him. Another great power play guy. I really need to consider start bringing in some penalty killers. But then again, you can always make up for a bad penalty kill with a good power play.
That is true. You could.
I was going to say I'm not necessarily sure that's true, but I'm going to go with it.
All right. And Anthony was saying I should have picked up Radek Dvorak. Not
a bad idea.
It's true.
What
But
were you thinking?
it's okay. It's okay, I wasn't. But when it comes to my next pick, I'm going to go left wing. He'll be working with Patrick Marleau, and that's Chris Kunitz.
There you go. A lot of Penguins flying off the board now.
Yup.
I absolutely hated Chris Kunitz because he always got a clutch goal and was the most annoying pain in the ass because you know he'd get that one. Obviously, he should be in jail right now because he killed the Ottawa Senators franchise. But, oh well.
What are you going to do?
Yep.
What are you going to do? I think I'm going to take a goalie in the next round. I think I know exactly who I'm going to take. All right, Robbie, you're up, brother.
All right, let's get this done. Let me see here.
No, Niedermayer's not gone yet. Although, when did Niedermayer retire?
Who?
Nah, he's good.
Scotty?
Yeah,
Scotty or Robbie?
Scott.
I think they both retired before 2010.
Scott Niedermayer.
Scott Niedermayer was 09?
09, 010, 2010 was his last hoorah.
Missed by that much.
Yeah. Let me just get back to some tasty forwards here. We gotta get some more forwards for sure. Let's see here. Now, why are you being slow? Sorry.
Speed up!
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, that's the guy. I'm glad I stalled a little bit there because now's the time to pull the trigger. And that trigger is the big surprise that I saw in the top 5 in terms of game-winning goals within the decade from 2010 to 2019. I'm going to go with local favorite, although he did most of this as an LA King, Jeff Carter.
Oh, I like it.
All right then.
That way I can put him on the, I'm gonna put him on the left wing. I think with I'm gonna put him on the right wing with Taze. Yeah. I like that. Taze could be setting up Jeff Carter instead of Kaner. Yeah.
It's just as scary. I always thought Kaner always had more playmaking ability than Jeff Carter, but Jeff Carter's a pure sniper.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very sneaky. Very, very, very sniperish. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yes. Very, very sneaky.
Yes. And go ahead.
So, I guess it's my turn, or
no? I have to go. Yeah, I got to go for a wraparound. I wasn't sure. I'm not looking at you boys right now. I'm scouring through stats. So I wasn't sure if there was a comment on the board that you wanted to address there.
Speaking
Anthony,
of, while he's looking.
Yeah. So Anthony was saying Brian wants Beezer. Unfortunately, Beezer's not going to be able to qualify for this draft.
Yeah.
He actually retired after he was done with the Flyers, ironically enough. But anyway.
Rats.
Also, Rob picked Mark Recchi.
I did? Nice. Rex. I can always go. I can't wait till we get to the 90s. If you recall, I wanted to jump right there.
Yeah.
You did.
Back when life was grand. I'm going to go for my backup goaltender here, I think. I don't want to wait too long because we're starting to get deep down in this draft. And, I'm going to have to go with a guy, the tiebreaker is going to be saves. Let's see here.
So while Rob does that, I'll just give a lowdown. Beezer can get AARP.
I believe he actually is old enough. I believe he actually is old enough.
All right, let me see here. So I'll just give a quick rundown of my team, and then Brian will give a rundown of his team, and then Robbie will make his pick, so that way it gives him some time. My picks so far, my first line is with Jamie Benn on left wing. Center is Sidney Crosby. Right wing is Nikita Kucherov. Line 2 is Max Pacioretty, centered by Patrice Bergeron. Right winger is Blake Wheeler. And my line 3, not complete yet, but it is centered by Patrick Marleau, left-winged by Chris Kunitz. My defensive pairs, my first two, one is Duncan Keith and Ryan McDonough. Second is Justin Falk and Aaron Ekblad. And so far, my one goaltender is my starter, and that is Henrik Lundqvist. And, Bri, who do you have?
So far, Tyler Sagan, Nathan McKinnon, Patrick Kane on my first. Evgeny Malkin, Henrik Sedin, Corey Perry on my second line. Nicky Backstrom, Conor McDavid on my third so far. Defensively, I have Shea Weber and Victor Hedman on my first pairing. Second pairing is PK Subban, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And I have Ryan Miller in net.
All right, then. Robbie, go right ahead. Make your pick, my man, and then feel free to give the rundown of your roster.
Will do, brother. Will do. Thank you for that time there. And with my second pick, I'm going to go with Jonathan Quick, be my backup to Carey Price.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous you were probably going to take my guy.
Oh. No, I got to go Jonathan Quick there. Mostly because when you're looking at all these top goaltenders during the decade, and I could have went Marc-Andre Fleury there. I definitely could, and I could speak about him now because I'm only drafted 2 goaltenders. That's all you need. And, a big thing that stood out to me is where Fleury has a 9.15 save percentage to Quick's 9.14. Quick had a 2.38 goals against average to Fleury's 2.46. So with 303 wins in the decade, I think I'll take that as a nice tidy backup.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I'll run down the team here. Top line is Alex Ovechkin, Steven Stamkos, and Phil Kessel. My second line is Claude Giroux, Joe Pavelski, and Ryan Getzlaff. My third line is I just have a center and right winger for right now. It's Jonathan Toews, Jeff Carter. My D pairings: Zdeno Chara, Erik Karlsson, Brent Burns, Ryan Suter.
You have a tough team, dude.
Decent. I think I made some mistakes. I should have went Malkin. I would have been stronger with Malkin. You know what I mean? But that, my loss is your game.
All right. So with
My
mine,
third line's scary. Nicky
Yeah.
Backstrom feeding Conor McDavid.
that's a good one. But so let's see here. Line 4 for me. I'm going to have a secret weapon sitting back here, especially for playoff time. Centerman, and this will be a Flyers one, Danny B.
Nice.
I'm putting Danny
boy.
B back here.
Yeah, boy.
Attaboy.
Talk about the playoffs, man. None better when it comes playoff time.
Hell yeah, and he can sit back there on the fourth line because during the regular season he had a couple of real strong years in the decade, nothing much else to speak of. But when that playoff rolls around, it's just like, oh, all bets are off. You think you're safe with the fourth line? You're not safe at all.
Correct.
I was going to say that's very accurate. So I think with my next 2 picks, true. All right, so I'm going to go defenseman on my first pick here, and I'm going to go with Chris Letang of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Nice. Yeah,
It's
solid.
another offensive power play option there. And I think I was going to go goaltender and get my backup, but I think I'll be okay with another round or 2 without getting them. Looking for another flashy forward here. I think let's see. Wow, Scott Hartnell had a 37-goal season.
He did.
Yes, sir.
I think that was the year that Giroux and Jager were on that line.
Yeah, it's a shame. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb for my fourth line center. I'm going to take the Magic Man. I'm going to go with Pavel Datsyuk.
Okay.
That is a fine pick.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pavel Datsyuk, the Magic Man, the human highlight reel.
Yeah, too bad Don staying stay on with us for I
he
was
would've
hoping that
loved
he'd
that.
make it. Yeah. He loves that
would've
pick
loved
right
that
there.
pick.
Yeah. Now you got a guy that I had to check back here. I'm the fact checker on the show. Yeah, because I mostly, am the one that is wrong. So I figured that should be my duty. And yeah. I mean, I know him for his early 2000s work, but he played all the way up to 2015-16, and was still a productive player. Still chipping in. Certainly his prime was earlier in the 2000s, but you're talking about a guy that was still an all-star, a Selke Trophy finalist, so even in his latter stage of his career. But yeah, that's a great pick.
Yeah, I mean, think about it this way. I got a team that's lacking leadership, so you need to bring in some older gentlemen here to help with that.
Sure.
I have another guy in mind too, but I'll have to wait because it's Madison.
All right, so mine, I'm going to get my backup goalie, and I'm going to get Roberto Luongo.
Oops, that was the wrong guy. Just selected.
Roberto Luongo, that's a misstep, Maddie. What are you thinking?
He's my backup.
Okay.
He's not my starter. He's going to play very few games.
That's a shame. I love Roberto Luongo.
That's why I would pick him. I was either going to be him or Cam Ward because both of them weren't necessarily great starters. But if you only had to have them play a small stretch of games, they'll get the job done for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I just, here's another example where I could be wrong, but I just thought that is Peke Rinne still out there available?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, see, I would have maybe sided with a Peke Rinne over Luongo, but I get your logic. Got to be a little disagreeable on the show, you know what I mean?
Well,
it is
also,
agree to disagree radio. Come on now.
Plus,
True.
also,
Fair
we have
enough.
to keep in mind, backups come and go. They don't last forever. It was coming down to three guys. I was either going to take Moose, or I was going to wind up taking Cam Ward, or I was going to take Roberto Luongo. And I thought, Luongo was not terrible in the decade. I mean, yes, was he perfect? No. But as a solid backup, he would be able to get the job done.
It's like a good friend of mine, Don, used to tell me, a big hockey fan, part of the reason why I'm such a strong Flyers fan. He always told me that, backup goalies can come and go, but herpes from that girl in the Section 210, that lasts forever.
Well said.
That's my
Very
favorite
well
section.
said.
Don't tell me that.
Well, then just don't meet a girl in that section, and you'll be fine.
Oh no, I'm never going back to Section 210. I actually think I have a friend who, when we go to the games, I think that's where her tickets are too. I think they're actually in 210.
Yeah, I was there for 5 years, yeah.
Oh man. All right, Robbie, you're up, brother.
All right. So getting back to the forward position here, because I got to start filling out. You guys got ahead of me here in the lines. I think now's the time to go for Daniel. I'm going to go Daniel Sedin.
Okay.
All right.
Pair him up here on the third line left wing with Taves and Carter.
Sounds
I
great.
Like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, and we discussed them a little bit already. You know what I mean? Certainly more of the playmaker, not as talented as his twin, but you're talking about two perennial all-star athletes. You know what I mean? I'll gladly take them on my third line.
Absolutely. Couple Hall of Famers there in the Sedin twins.
Sure. And I'm going to shore up my left wingers here. And here's a choice now. Yeah, I don't think he's been taken, and I really don't want him, but we got to be biased here, or unbiased, I should say. Anybody take Brad Marchand?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, I'll take Brad Marchand here as well.
It's a good pick. As much as he is a pain in the ass.
It's just as long as he doesn't lick my face, we're good.
Okay.
Licking noses here.
So let me see here. So for me, my next pick here, I'm going to share up my left wingers too. And I don't think he was picked. Zetterberg.
Ooh.
You son of a bitch. I literally have his stuff up in front of me.
Got him. Oh, I should have went. Damn it. I just saw another guy I wanted more. Oh my God.
The problem, somebody mentioned Pavel Datsyuk, and that immediately made me think of Henrik Zetterberg. I'm like, ooh, grab Zetterberg when you get the chance.
Sure.
It's for you, Matty. This is for you. I didn't get a chance to wrap it, but this is for you. Merry Christmas.
I appreciate it. I've always wanted that.
Son of a bitch.
That son of a bitch was very Kenny Omega-like.
I have no idea who that is.
I heard the cleaner's back. I heard that was a rumor.
Yes, that is evidence for the cleaner to come back from the Bullet Club.
All right. Well, since
shout out to Mr. Ryan Broda who's joining us, but I can tell this by his accurate updating of B. Dale's name tag.
That's another one. Here's another one. Welcome to the show, Broda. We missed
Hi, Broda.
Shut up, Daly.
Now I'm starting to understand why I don't get invited to golf all the time.
I haven't golfed in 84 years. Shut up.
It's a long time.
That's a long time. I thought Rob was the oldest one on the show.
Yeah, 84 years. I was thinking it was like either 84 days or 84 minutes with them.
I was thinking more along the lines of like 84 hours.
Yeah, hours probably would have been better. Yeah.
Oops,
yeah.
That's not. What the hell is going on right here? All right, so I was gonna go defense and get my vet defenseman here, but I don't think that's gonna happen because he only played up until 2012. So we're gonna go still going to go defense, but I think I want to go.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I'm watching you.
I think I'm going to go Roman Yossi. Sure him up on my. I think I did it.
I think you did.
I love how he muted himself too.
Yep.
Well, it's all right. Just spelled his last name right. All right. So, yeah, Roman Yossi, at the time, current captain of the Nashville Predators. Great offensive upside on the defensive side. Big-time shutdown defenseman. Has been doing it for years. So, I feel like it's a pick that has to be made there.
It's funny. I forgot how long he's been playing in the league.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that. I mean, been around a while.
Yeah.
So since you took my forward,
You're welcome.
I think I'm going to go, and I'm surprised he's kind of still on the board at this point, but a little more understanding. But since he's gone to Toronto, his numbers have kind of dissipated a little bit. I think here I'm going to go and finish up my third line here. If you could, thank you for finally scrolling. I'm going to go Jonathan Tavares here.
Okay. Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. I think you got robbed again. I think you got robbed twice. Oh my god, that's fucking tremendous. Oh my god.
Whoops.
I have to take partial blame because I took the forward from you.
You did.
I hate you both.
That's a lie. That's a lie. No, I mean, his numbers haven't really dissipated as much as I thought they did. But, Johnny T, let's be real, probably shouldn't be on the board right now. But I think he's getting a lot less publicity now that he's in Toronto. Oh, he's still on the board too. I'm gonna take a flyer on him. All right, Matty, you're up.
All right, so I'm going to go to my third line right winger position, and I'm going to take from the Columbus Blue Jackets, Cam Atkinson.
You almost got punched in the face through the screen. I thought you were going to go after this guy.
I love it. I love it.
One of these days, I'm going to punch you in the face.
You're going to get one of these. You're going to get a sandwich.
Anthony, by the way, was saying Tory Cruz has been around for a long time.
Yeah, Krug is another one. I don't have any defensive positions left.
And I believe he just signed, wasn't an extension or a new contract?
New contract. He's going to St. Louis.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, he's a new kid on the block. He didn't have much play, if anything. Hold on, let me check here.
Kruger, I believe, was a 2013-14.
What?
Okay, so he...
What?
Well, if he was a pick, then...
Holy shit! Yeah, good call. Wow. Okay.
So he must have come into the league around 2016? If he was
No,
picked at that time?
That was his first full year. Was 2013, 2014. He actually played a couple games in the 2 seasons prior to that. I forgot he went that back. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Krug. You know what? I'm glad I have defensive spaces. That'll be one of my picks.
Okay, so with my next pick,
You
well, I mean, Maddie, you are up.
Bitch.
No, I'm not gonna do that. Actually, no, I'm not, because I just picked Cam Atkinson.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, you did.
I know it was my turn. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna go with Krug because that's the obvious pick. So I'm gonna go with another guy. And since Mr. Dales took one John Tavares from me, from my clutches, I'm going to go with my alternative. And the benefit of my alternative is a much higher plus-minus rating of plus 120 in the decade to Tavares' minus 30. That's Anze Kopitar.
Ooh, Kopi is a good one.
Yeah, he'll be centering my with Marchand, so I like that.
Yeah, I have no center positions left. I got all my center positions lined up. I have 3 picks left. I have a left winger, a right winger, and a goaltender I need to take.
All right. Yeah, for me, what I got left, I got a right wing. I got a whole defensive pair I still got to do. And that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, after my next pick, I'll have 2 as well. So we're right on par, boys. Good job, Matty. Way to steer the ship. Geez, you know what? I forgot. I did already make this pick, and that's Tory Cruz.
Kind of saw that one coming.
Yeah, I got it now. I'm a man of my word.
The predictability.
So, when I'm not lying.
Well played, sir. Well played indeed. Okay, let me see here. So I'm going to check something real fast before I make my pick.
Oh, boom. There it is.
Boom.
You know, I like the quality of my team, but I hate the people that I have. Except like G and Carter. Like, I don't even like Brent Burns. You know what I mean? He'd be a guy that I would punch and get my ass kicked.
Yeah, probably.
I could swing a little bit. I got a little mixed martial arts, too. I could hold it for a little while, but ultimately he's an athlete. I'm not anymore.
Yep.
So you want to be like Mckinnon. You want to be that kind of coach that just makes players fucking hate you.
But if it was 2000, where I'm stuck in, Brent Burns got no chance because what is he, like 14 at that time?
At that time, yeah.
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 Nah, but I was the peak shape. There weren't too many people I was losing the fight to.
Just shove him in the mud, stick his face in it, step on his face, eat that mud.
Let me see here.
My name is Mud.
I love the Primus reference there. Let's see. Les Claypool, one of the best bassists ever. Let's see here.
Going on down to Southport, gonna meet some friends of mine.
Okay,
that was Primus. That was Primus.
That was. You're right. So for me, I'm going to do defenseman, and I am surprised he's still here, but I'm going to take him now, and that's Danny Boyle.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about Danny Boyle.
And I realized I got to swap out my defensive pair, so my third's going to be Falcon Ekblad. 2 will be started off with Boyle.
All right, so with 2 of my final 3 picks, I'm going to go right winger here. And I'm not surprised he's gotten this far, but he's had a couple seasons. But he's had a lot of 30 and 40 goal seasons as well. And I'm going to go with Rick Nash.
Rick Nash, good one. Good one. I mean, his best years, obviously were with Columbus, and sometimes you forget how good of a player he was because of the fact that when he was on Columbus wasn't a good team at the time. They were pretty bad.
Can you guys see me?
No, we cannot. Your screen is blacked out.
Yeah, I just freaking got a phone call.
Oh.
Okay. Let me see.
No, still can't see.
Back-to-back weeks. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Oh, all right.
D-Dales. Hardly do you.
All right, then. So while he does that, let me take a look at some of these comments here. Kind of filed out a little bit. I'm sure everybody's getting ready to go to watch the Eagles and the Giants. But Anthony is still sticking around. So Anthony's saying Wayne Simmons still out there. He is. Mike Richards is available. Jager is available, and he's been playing in the 80s and never will retire. That's true. We did have him in the past decade, and he did have a pretty strong season for Philadelphia. And Anthony's saying Nash with the Rangers too, and should great season there. Yeah, Yeah, Nash wasn't terrible with the Rangers. I just think he eventually started to slowly decline on the Rangers, and it was getting clearer and clearer. It's like, ooh, Nash's decline is pretty heavy. Unfortunately, he spent all that time in Columbus, and while he was the face of the franchise when they first got going, unfortunately, that was not the good era for the Blue Jackets at all.
He helped set up a good era, though, in terms of return, so.
True. He did. I mean, honestly, if Columbus really probably should argue retiring his number one day because he was that big of a player for them for that period of time. Just a shame it was a bad era. But with that, let me go and run down my team, and then Rob, you can run down yours. We'll give Bryce some time here so he can get back on and finish his turn.
If he's not back soon, you're on auto pick. Oh, there he is.
Oh, there we go. He made it.
I'm here.
No doubts.
I'm back.
Serious.
All right. Right under the gun.
What are you going to do?
The draft board was already getting pissed at you.
I don't even know who called me. That was the worst part. It wasn't even like it was somebody I knew, and I could be like, oh, yeah, well, I can't really talk right now. But anyway. All right. So, I mean, I kind of heard what you guys were saying about Rick Nash. He still put up some good numbers with the Rangers through 2012-13 to 17-18. So, I'll put him in my fourth line right wing position. And I'm going to go left wing. I gotta fill a left wing spot here. All right. Let's see here. Tell you what, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. Let's take somebody. Let's see here. Wait, when did he come into the league? Not him. There we go.
Solani.
Let's see.
When did he retire? He retired in 2014.
I
love it.
Brodo. Oh, how we love thee, Brodo.
You know what? He's been in the league long enough. I'm going to go Leon Draisaitl.
Nice.
All right.
So I'm going to go Leon Draisaitl. He's been in the league since 14-15, and he's pretty much been a perennial powerhouse since 16-17. 77 points, 70 points, 105, 110. Only getting better, baby.
Okay. And that was your second pick, right?
Yep, Maddie, it's all you, bro.
All right, then. So to finish off my defense, working with Danny Boyle in the second defensive pair will be Jay Bouwmeester.
Forgot about Bouwmeester.
So that finishes off my defense. Robbie, your turn to finish up.
Right on. Yeah, I saved the best two for last, man. I can't believe this guy slid. And I this was a little personal bias that I was showing here by not going with him because I really didn't like some of his comments during this pandemic. But how could I not go with Drew Doughty?
Yeah.
Drew Doughty, yeah.
You look back over the decade here. Get back to his stats real quick. Not that direction. There you go. Nope, that's goalies too. Motherfucker. For the decade of 2009, well, I count like 2009, 10, because stats ringing true from the end of that season to current. When you look at defensemen in the regular season, as I'm marking these off and telling you as I'm doing them with these filters. This is a great tool I have no way. Freaking, you look at 111 goals, 475 points, a plus 60 in the decade. Time on ice, 26-29. Certainly, when you're talking about a goal-scoring defenseman as well as a guy that can play the stay-at-home role and block some shots, he had equal value there with that plus 60. So, solid pick there, I think, for me as my third line, our third D pairing on the right side. Now, for my last pick, This was the doozy. I basically was going to choose between TJ Oshie, Bobby Ryan, who ranks up high in the decade as well.
True.
And there's only one pick I can go with here. And this is another pick that I'm going for, the fan base appeal. And it's a guy that had experience playing with Anze Kopitar in LA. So why not put him with him? That's Wayne Simmons.
Wayne Simmons, okay. I think that just killed Daly.
That is such a Flyer move.
It's to appeal for votes if there's voting or, what have you. No.
I know you got one vote. I know you got one vote.
Not at all, though. In regard to that, I was looking at for specifically, I need a right winger there, right? And you looked at Oshie, 224 goals, 528 points, a plus 110 plus minus. He was really the guy that I was going to go for, but when one of our commenters suggested Wayne, and I went down in points, 476. Certainly the same ballpark there. Definitely trailed Oshie in goals by a cool 70, but he brought a lot to leadership. Great in a power play in front of the net, as well as a physical presence, and I think that needs to be embodied here a little bit too. So not a total 100% homer pick.
No, I'm just busting balls.
No. I got to be argumentative. That's
absolutely.
That's talk show, baby.
Yeah, baby. All right, Maddie, you're up.
All right, for me,
you're good now, right?
No,
you're done.
No, I got one last spot still open.
You, Robbie. You're done, right?
I am done, Chris, sir.
All right, Maddie, go ahead.
All right, for me, my final pick, I'm gonna go young. Finish off my fourth line, right winger, working with Danny B and Henrik Zetterberg, learning from them. Vladimir Tarasenko.
Vladdy. So I guess this is kind of a weird way to put this, like Mr. Irrelevant. It's always known as the last pick in the draft, but it's really ironic because this goaltender is one of the best goaltenders to come through in a long time. He's had multiple 5+ shutout seasons. He is running a career goals against of 2.26. He's running a career save percentage of .922. 50 shutouts in his career, 14,878 saves in his career. 516 wins, 291 losses. Go with Tuukka Rask, baby.
Yeah.
It's hard not to go Tuukka. You can't have a team. You can't have a Decky team and not have Tuukka.
Well, Anthony's saying Holtby. That's a good. That's the choice right there.
Yeah, he was better earlier on. He was better earlier on than his second half, but I mean, hopefully the revamp in Vancouver could help.
Right.
Change of scenery can sometimes, help a guy out of his. I don't want to say issues, but when he's having a little bit of a hard time putting it back together, which I think that's been Holtby for the last couple years. Change of scenery helps big time.
Right.
All right, so that is that, ladies and gentlemen. We have our slots filled and our teams officially picked. And we'll give one last summary for everyone to close out the show before we say good night, and you guys can get yourselves ramped up and excited for the reaction show for the Flyers and Giants. Or Flyers, Giants, Eagles, and Giants. Anyway.
After we do this, I want to just run through some NHL news before we jump out of here.
Okay. So with that quick summarization here of our teams, I will start things off. Line number 1 for me, centered by Sidney Crosby. On the left wing is Jamie Benn. On the right wing is Nikita Kucherov. Line 2 is centered by Patrice Bergeron. With on the left, you have Max Pacioretty, and on the right, you have Blake Wheeler. On line 3, on the left wing, you have Chris Kunitz, centered by Patrick Marleau, and on the right wing, you have Cam Atkinson. On line 4, centered by Danny Briere. On the left wing, Henrik Zetterberg, and on the right wing, Vladimir Tarasenko. On the defense for me, pair number 1, Duncan Keith and Ryan McDonough. On pair 2, Danny Boyle and Jay Bouwmeester. And on pair 3, Justin Falk and Aaron Ekblad. Goalies, starting goaltender for me, the King, Henrik Zetterberg, and my backup, Roberto Luongo.
It's a fine team, Maddie. That's a fine team here, and you run through it in full. I mean, your top 2 lines are freaking top notch. You know, I like your defense pairing, and having Lundqvist as your starting goaltender for the decade. It's a pretty solid team, Maddie.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Robbie, you go next.
Cool, man.
Save the best for last.
It might be, because I'm looking at it and it's like, maybe it's because I have such disdain for some of these players, but I like how my power play is going to look, in this imaginary fairy tale land. Got lots of great goal scorers. Got, 2 center icemen in Jonathan Toews and Anze Kopitar that are, great at playing both ways. Just ask their wives. And yeah, see, I don't like these players. That's why I had to put that jab in. But to sum up, I'm not going to run through all of them. I'm going to post. I did a screen cap of the image, and I just need to wait till the show ends so I could comment with an image. But yeah, I mean, I love. I think probably the best part of my team is my goalie tandem with Carey Price and Jonathan Quick. I really like that a lot. And I like my top D-line pairing with Char and Carlson.
Yeah, Char and Carlson are 2 big-bodied guys. Carlson more on the offensive side, which I'm not taking anything away from Char. He's got the hardest shot in the league, but it's just you have some absolute terrifying parts to your roster there. Rob, if you're done,
yes.
Throw mine out there. A couple changes to the lines here as I'm looking at them. First line, I got Tyler Sagan, Nate McKinnon, and Patrick Kane as my threat offensively. Evgeny Malkin, this is where I've made one of the changes. Evgeny Malkin is going to be on left wing. Conor McDavid, I'm going to put on the second line at center. Corey Perry on the right.
Okay.
Third line here, I got Nick Backstrom on the left wing, and this is where I'm going to put Henrik Sedin on the third line with Jonathan Tavares. Fourth line, I got Leon Draisaitl, Pavel Datsyuk, and Rick Nash. Gotta have the human highlight reel on the team. I'm sorry, in an all-decade team. I know he didn't go through the entire decade, but it's Pavel Datsyuk. The dude is still playing in Europe.
He is.
He is. Defense, I got Shea Weber, Victor Hedman, PK Subban, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Chris Letang, and Roman Josi. And I think the irony of all this is, especially my defense, is each pairing I have, they're similar players. They're similar style of players. So I think that fits the scheme there. And goaltenders, I got Tuukka Rask and Ryan Miller. I think I'm going to have Tuukka as my starter, although Ryan Miller has been one hell of a goaltender in his career, especially earlier on in Buffalo. Even in Vancouver, when he was there for a little bit, he was really good. But that's my team. You guys can obviously vote. Let us know who you think has the best team. Robbie's going to post them. And I want to jump in here real quick on some news. Some free agent news here. We got Connor Brown signing a 3-year extension with the Ottawa Senators, 3 years, $10.8 million. Denis Gurianov has signed a 2-year, $5.1 million contract to stay in Dallas. And the other big name move was Dmitry Kulikov signing a 1-year, $1.5 million with the Devils.
Okay. Then.
And if you guys have missed the beginning of the show, I said, I'm sorry, another big one. Jake Virtanen re-upping 2 years, $5.1 million with the Canucks. There's also another big one. A couple guys filed for arbitration. We won't really get into that. So if you had just joining us, you missed the beginning of the show, haven't heard yet, the Winter Classic and the NHL All-Star Game both have been postponed for COVID reasons, obviously for revenue issues as well. They want the fans to be a part of the events because they are fan-made events. They don't want just 7,500 or whatever the capacity is for whatever stadium. And not every city has allowed to have fans yet either. So moving forward from there, they're gonna wait, postpone them until they can have 100% capacity and have those games played and events held the right way instead of having just select number of fans. And also, last bit of news here, the Colorado Avalanche will no longer be playing in the Pepsi Center. As the Pepsi Center will now be called I believe it's Ball Arena or Ball Center. It sounds terrible. I'm just going to put that out there.
Baller Arena? That's awesome.
It's not Baller. Ball. Yeah, Ball Arena.
Ball Arena.
Ball Arena.
That is a stupid name. But anyway, but still Seattle owns the dumbest name in stadiums. No one's taking that from them. Anyway.
Dude, these are major businesses that are making millions upon millions of dollars, so I'm not really going to hate on the names. And they're making more money off of being named after, hockey, being names for hockey arenas.
Well, if they continue to have, playoff injuries, will the stadium be called Blue Ball Arena?
I'm sure they'll have the nickname. Real quick, the beginning of the article here. The beginning of the article here says the home of the Colorado Avalanche was renamed the Ball Arena after global partnership agreement announced Thursday that Ball Corp and Kroenke Sports and Entertainment, which owns the Avalanche and the NBA's Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Mammoth of the National Lacrosse League. So, naming the arena after the ownership now. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I actually applaud that. That's not corporate sponsorship then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I'm glad you alliterated that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a terrible name. I mean, you're going to have a ton of jokes, and I'm sure I'm going to make a lot of them myself. Ball Arena.
Boy, I really hope Colorado goes through a period where they don't win the cup just for us to make those jokes. I really do. They'll win one, but it'll be much later on. Anyway. Okay, with that being said, that's the news and notes of what's been happening in the NHL, and we did our draft for our teams. Obviously, everyone out there can make their decisions and come to their conclusions on who they thought had the better team at the end of the day for the all decades from 2010 up to 2019. And next week, we will do 2000 through 2009. But that is next week, and we will sign off for now. And we were brought to you by Ambuck Services. If you need to get your gutters cleaned, bushes trimmed, and on deck restored, they'll take care of all that for you. And you give them a call at 856-879-5530. Get all that taken care of, and basically get it done before wintertime because it's coming and it'll be here before you know it. So get that done now.
Now's the time for the fall cleanup.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you enjoyed the show today, there is a way to support us and the station as well. And where can they go to do that, Mr. Brian Daly?
They can go to PhillyDrinkers.com, Philly Drinkers LLC. You can get a great quarterback factory shirt to support on all Eagle game days. A great show supporter. You can get a shirt like Robbie's, get the Hockey Happy Hour t-shirt. All kinds of great stuff at PhillyDrinkers.com. Bad Things Happen in Philly is a big seller right now as well. Fall lines out. You can get a pullover like the one that I have, a fleece pullover with the HUD embroidered on the chest. Blankets, socks. I believe they still have summer tumblers where you can get them Jake from Weekly, or actually Jake, I'm not quite sure where Jake is anymore. But he has one, loves it, uses it for every show. Mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, you can come up with it. We got it. So Philly Drinkers, LLC, PhillyDrinkers.com, baby. Get all your A2D gear there.
I will admit, wearing the shirt on the show kind of makes me feel like that dude that wears the band's T-shirt to the concert, but I wear it with pride.
Absolutely.
I mean, how awesome is it, man, Maddie, that back in 2014, we dreamt of this show.
Yeah.
And you can go out and buy the T-shirt, man. And Brian, you've been on that ride for the majority. It's surreal, and can't thank everyone enough for just all the support, all the comments, all the love. It continues to be an awesome ride.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an honor being with you boys, being able to talk hockey, and being a part of this station for the last 5 years now. Yeah. I've been a part of this show for a long time, and just seeing the growth and the appreciation and support from everybody, tuning in, whether you're here regularly, you just drop in for a couple minutes, you guys don't realize how much we appreciate you guys, and we love you, and you so grateful for keeping us alive and keeping us going for the last 5 years.
Absolutely. You guys are the lifeblood, fam. That's why we call you fam. We wouldn't be here without you at the end of the day. And for all of us, we say thank you very much. Go Eagles. And we will see you guys next week right here on A2DRadio.com for the early 2000s, 2000 through 2009 draft. And we'll keep going after that. So from all of us here, I'm Matt Sinsuni. None other than the Broken One, Rob Povia. And, of course, the Dark Wing, Brian Daly.
Go Wentz. Go Birds.
And we will see you guys next week right here on A2DRadio.com. Live reaction show coming your way for A2D Radio. Tune in and enjoy some of the crazy shenanigans that can happen within the entire period of a football game with the hosts of A2D Radio. Oh, and in this very ring is tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So check that out for your wrestling fix. We'll see you guys next week. Peace and love, everyone. Wear your mask, especially when you're going into a store or indoors at all. Please do that. Keep everybody safe and keep yourself safe. We'll see you guys next week right here on A2D Radio.com. Peace, everyone.